Here we are, travelling. It's time to go for physio.
Hey there, man.
It rhymes that, doesn't it? It's alright, yeah. I'm getting driven around by my personal chauffeur and right-hand man, Adam James Proud, right now.
It's Alfred and Bruce Wayne.
Well, yes, I'll take Batman any day.
Criminal Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Batman, who has an ankle injury at the minute, but we're doing my first ever session of physiotherapy. Consider this is the very first injury of mine. And we're going to see a sports injury therapist. We're going to hopefully have some fun with this.
Are you scared it's going to hurt?
Well, we'll see. Hi, mate.
Hiya.
Whoa. Avulsion / sprain. So, but then it says there's no fracture present.
Yeah, it doesn't even say which part of the ankle.
Yeah, so the woman on the phone said that there's definitely looks like a bone fragment in the on the X-ray when I spoke to her, which is like you have an avulsion fracture, but rest ice and compression 4 to 8 weeks, that general thing, you know.
Yeah, it's probably plenty you can do the way that they've written that. It's if it was something worse, they would be saying like a lot longer in the boot. They wouldn't be saying things like walk as far as you can kind of manage.
Did look a lot worse. Yeah, I've got a picture of it like 2 days after, and it was like proper bruised like. But the bruising and swelling has come down now. It's been 2 weeks. Oh gosh. Oh, my lovely foot. My lovely foot.
I'll get you to pop the sock off on the other one. So
Yep. Compare the two, eh?
Any sort of tenderness above the ankle there?
That feels okay. Wait, what you're doing?
No sort of bruising sensation, anything like that?
No.
Anything there?
It's a little bit uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it hurts a lot. I've actually this morning been getting shooting pains in it.
Right, where we at?
Like across the top of my foot. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether like more feelings coming back for that. It's been like a shooting pain.
Yeah, you
really
see it's
strange.
still pretty swollen.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that a little bit today.
A little bit uncomfortable.
What about on the back of there?
Again, a little bit uncomfortable.
And do you know if they checked all your toes when they did the X-ray?
I checked the foot as a full. I don't know if they checked the toes. I'm pretty sure the toes are fine. I mean, they're bruised, but I can move them without kind of.
They don't feel bruised. Basically, I'm just going to get you to do a couple of movements. So we'll do this one first, just to see what your range is like. So basically, just want you to pull your foot towards you.
Yeah.
And then try and match it with this one. So does it just feel restricted in general?
Totally restricted. Like
any sort of sharp pinching or anything on the sides?
Not on the sides, nah. It just feels like it's locked there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then just relax, and then I want you to point your toes down towards the floor.
So that one could be really good.
And then this one.
That hurts. I can't get that any further than that without pain.
Bring that back up. So basically, when the movements that you would have had, you basically just do a direct comparison to this side.
Mm-hmm.
So for any history of bad injuries to this, you'd expect to have a similar range of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're looking at is you're basically stretching the tissues all the way from the shin all the way down to the toes.
Mm-hmm.
Actual ligament itself, where they said they're damaged, I haven't been very specific on the letter, but I'm assuming it's going to be this front one here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most commonly injured one.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that stretch, it does give it a light pull, but not a lot. So in order to stretch that, so the example would be on this side would be to dip the foot forward and then take it across.
Yeah.
So we're talking about from this structure here to this structure here, and that's obviously kind of what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go over on the ankle, depending on the severity, how much weight you're carrying, what the movement was like, how quick was the movement, it's how quickly you go into that position, and then it's what happens to the rest of the body as you go over. So if you just quickly slip and rock your ankle, it can actually ping back quite quickly.
Yeah.
So you can still damage it, but there's not much happening. So what we've also got to take into consideration is how much swelling is collected in this area, which is above the foot. So to me, it's pretty much saying that you're going to have some sort of soft tissue damage just slightly above the ankle, potentially in the muscle group here. So the muscle group on the front of the shin goes all the way into your toes. So if you pull your foot up again towards you, so you can see all these tendons here. You can see their attachments coming down at the foot.
Yeah.
So all the ones that bring your toes up, the main one that brings your foot up, they all sit in the shin. And as I say, I think when you've done it, you'll have had some sort of damage there.
When I landed, it felt like it wasn't like it's quick. I almost felt like it was a second or two. Like I felt it land, topple, move.
Yeah.
Kind of. It was like it wasn't like that. It was like like as if
So
it felt slow motion kind of thing.
So you might have actually just took it right to the point of its flexibility.
Yeah, and then put even more weight on it.
And then the
maybe
weights
at
come,
the end.
and then it's caused the damage right at the end. What you've also got in the body is you've got pretty much like a band that runs around multiple areas around the ankle, which kind of keeps everything tied in. And looking at where the swelling is, it's not always a direct correlation, but it looks like you've probably had a bit of damage in there. And that is literally just all soft tissue stuff. So we can work a bit on this today. I'm going to flush some of this swelling away, everybody get on top of it. I'm going to do some light work on the foot. I'm not actually going to touch that area there, just basically for probably the next week, just your natural movements, getting them moving. You're looking at how wide that is, so it's obviously holding swelling within the joint as well. And as I say, quite a bit of it there.
I bet you've seen better looking feet than this, Graeme.
I've seen quite a few feet in my head.
Let's say hypothetically it's a really bad sprain versus an avulsion fracture. What's the difference in healing time?
So it depends on how much of the bone's damaged, whereabout it's damaged. If there's a piece loose and it's sitting in the joint space, it can be quite complicated. If it's literally just sitting where it should be, but it's come away slightly, it'll heal pretty good.
This is lovely. Ooh, this is so good. Oh God, yes, so comfortable. Fucking hell. Graeme, how long have you been an injury therapist for now?
About 14 years.
Alright.
A long time.
Nearly a life sentence, eh?
It is, I've seen a lot of sprained ankles.
What's your favourite thing about being an injury therapist?
Probably when people realise that they can actually improve something. So they've had something for a long time and they go, I just thought that was it. I thought I was going to have a bad back forever, or I thought I was never going to be able to run again because I've got this injury. And then it's like you just educate them on what you can do, and how you get improvements, and then they come back and they go, hey, you know what it is, I went to the gym this week and I didn't feel me back, or I've been out for a run. And it's like, for some reason they got stuck at a point where they thought that was it, whereas really your body can go through a hell of a lot.
Oh yeah. It's not even on the ankle, it's like the calf and the connecting tissue.
Yeah, so a lot of this runs down and controls your toes.
Yeah.
So they've been flat in the boot, minimal movement, hardly any sort of weight bearing through them. So all the tissues just tighten up. And this moves better, this will move better. And it's just all about good blood flowing in and out of the area.
Hiya! Hiya! Whoa! I might start swearing at you, Graeme. Fuck! Ooh, that's fucking. Ooh, that's cheeky, that. So that was my foot. The day after, I think I was 2 days after, maybe that one. That was my foot 2 days after.
Yeah, so that amount of bruising tells me that predominantly soft tissue.
Yeah. Woo! Little bits of like, hey.
Yeah, so literally just due to gravity and lack of movement because of the pain, you just get all the swelling collecting the foot. So tendons running across the front of the ankle, muscle belly sitting high up in the shin, coming all the way down to the toe. So imagine if I rock that ankle, this is where the ligament is, which has been damaged. Saying that the damage is where it attaches on the bone. So it doesn't mean the ligament itself has come off altogether. It means that it's pulled a little bit of the bone off. So it's a bit like if you pulled a tree up, it's a bit like you're damaging the roots of it. But all these tendons at some point, they would have never have been in that position that they were when it was injured. So they get put on a massive stretch. So you're possibly looking at little bits of irritation and damage, and this is the band I was talking about. So this band literally holds all the tendons in place. What gives you the shape of the front of your ankle. So if that wasn't there, they would literally like lift up when you're using them, and that'll take just as long as that to heal. Yeah, so if you look at the width of that, you can see how I can get my fingers in the gaps there. That's at least twice the size, and that's just all inflammation. This is pretty much just dead blood, so the damage was here and it's just drained into the foot. The fat pad that sits under the skin stops it getting right to the bottom. Any sort of like, there's too much tension in there, which it probably won't be the same.
Hey! Woo! Ah!
It's alright at the minute. I'm just waiting for that one movement where it's like, oh!
So if you look at this side bit here, kind of like the width of it and the depth of the foot. And then when you look at this side, you can just see how much swelling's just collected all the way around there. So when you load the body, so basically standing onto the floor, two solid surfaces, load of fluid, loads of pressure, and that's the most pain that you're going to be in. So it's not necessarily the damaged area, you're not causing any more damage, it's the amount of pain that you get through pressure in the foot. You can see when you work on it, you can shift it, but the problem is the less you're doing, it'll actually drain back into the foot a little bit just as the day goes on. But the main thing to be doing is just little bits of movement. Just pop the other one next to it so you can, because you'll be able to see how definitive the tendons are on your feet and stuff, and how you can't really see them.
Yeah.
3 guys, 2 feet.
And like what you want to visually look at is the width,
Yeah.
complete width, and then looking at that,
Yeah.
and that'll tell you how much swelling's within the joint space or in between the bones. Once that goes down, you pretty much get your full range back.
So Graeme, finishing off this first session, if there's anybody watching this video who has an injury and is just living with it, what advice would you give them?
I would go and seek some advice, get some professional advice on it, because you never know what stage you're at. You don't know how long an injury should take to heal. Are you in the middle of the healing process? Are you at the start? Have you actually come to the end of it and you're just afraid to actually use it? So getting the best advice based around what the actual injury is will kind of tell you where you're at. And if anything, it'll always help you. There's nothing I would give someone advice on that would ever have a detrimental effect. It's always going to be positive. As I say, it could be holding you back from doing stuff that you want to do. You can always improve your body. It has its limitations, but you can always improve it. You've just got to go and ask the right people.
If you'd like to learn how to create outstanding levels of energy, motivation and self-control, my second book, Supercharged, the modern day guide to doing exactly that, is out now.